There's a quiet revolution happening in backyards and on porches across America. Many of us are looking at patches of dirt, whether it's an acre or a few mineral buckets, and seeing more than just a hobby. We're seeing a return to our roots. The Victory Garden wasn't just about food. It was about morale, resilience, and knowing exactly what was fueling your family. Well, hey y'all, and welcome to the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. I'm Susan, your hostess. This is the Resourceful Homestead edition, and we're going to be out in the garden today planting Amish Paste tomatoes that we picked up from the Amish community for a discounted price, along with a couple of other surprises. Over the weekend, my husband and I took a trip to the Amish community and found a new Amish greenhouse. We were so excited to find Amish Paste tomatoes and a Vicks plant. The tomato plants were leggy, so they sold the tray of 18 plants for just $8. So hubby and I have been working together to get them planted. By choosing organic heirloom varieties like Amish Paste tomatoes, we aren't just growing food, we're preserving history. We are stepping away from the supermarket aisles and back into a rhythm that our grandparents understood. If you take care of the soil and land takes care of you. This weekend, we put the philosophy into practice. These Amish Paste tomatoes were a bargain find, but with a little resourcefulness, they'll be the stars of the pantry. Since they are indeterminate, they will keep climbing and producing all summer long. I stripped the lower leaves to bury them deep and encourage a massive root system that can handle the summer heat. We recently purchased 2 eucalyptus trees. They needed to be transplanted into the mineral buckets. If I can successfully grow them there, they will keep wasps at bay all summer long. These trees are massive and will get very, very tall, planted directly into the ground, but in the buckets they can get up to about 5 feet in height. The Vicks plant will be settled into a home soon using salvaged mineral buckets. And using those buckets isn't just about saving money, it's about making sure nothing goes to waste on our homestead. Starting herbs from seeds or rescuing a bargain plant might seem small, but it's a vote for independence. It's a way to stay grounded. And literally and figuratively, we're growing more than just a garden here. We're growing a way of life. It really is the ultimate security knowing that no matter what happens with the supply chains or the local grocery store, you have the skills and the soil to provide for yourself. There's a certain peace of mind that comes from seeing rows of jars sitting on your pantry shelf and knowing exactly where that food came from. It's not just about calories, it's about the independence. Here on the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch, we are rejecting social norms and returning to the roots of family and home. The shift away from the fast-paced rat race into a more intentional home life centered on faith and family is exactly what the Victory Garden movement was all about, keeping the family together. Working side by side, including teaching our children life lessons and skills. It wasn't just about the government program. It was a cultural pivot back to the idea that the home is the primary source of the family's strength. In modern society, the home is often treated like a dormitory, just a place to sleep between work and errands. Returning to your roots shifts your mental understanding to treating your home as a productive landscape and refuge from the world noise outside. When we plant tomatoes in buckets or start herbs from seeds, we are transforming our living space from a place of consumption to a place of creation. Organic gardening and scratch cooking aren't trends. They are traditional skills that were nearly lost. By doing this work with my husband and sharing our progress with you, we together are building a bridge between wisdom of the past and the needs of the future. Sometimes we need to look backwards in order for us to move forward. Gleaning skills from the past generations and applying them to our lives now may seem very, very silly to some of you. But for us, the reset button has brought us stability and peace. We sleep better at night, too, after a long labor of love sown together in the garden. Not only are we planting food for our table, we are building a strong bond between husband and wife. We work alongside one another to bring our home and landscape into a place of productivity that feeds the mind, body, and soul. There is a profound security in the slow times of life. You can't rush an Amish Paste tomato. By embracing the seasons and the manual labor of transplanting and pruning, we are reclaiming time and peace of mind from a world that always is rushing to and fro. They tell us that success is found out there in a career, the climb, and the latest gadget. But we have found that the most radical thing you can do is to stay put. To dig a hole, plant a seed, build a life that doesn't depend on a barcode. We are not just growing a garden, we are growing a sanctuary. And that is the best security that there is. Riches are not found in money. My papa always said he was money poor and rich in children. The truth was, my papa owned a lot of land, over 300 acres from what I understand, and he farmed the land, and he raised 8 children there, him and his wife. He was a Baptist preacher that didn't make a lot of money, and yet he found himself rich because of family. Have we traded our family for luxury items, for homes and cars that we really can't afford, to keep us working and chasing the dollar? Or are we returning to our roots and returning to the family values that we cherish the most, working the land and being home with our family? I'm in my senior years this year, and I'm looking forward to those golden years. I want to be able to enjoy the last remaining years of my life in a homestead that is manageable for us and that we can supply the majority of our own needs. Here on the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch, we believe in helping our neighbors when we can. We believe in bartering for services when we can. We believe in giving a hand up, not a handout. We believe that the hard work that we do today will ease our life as we age. We are not like the rich and famous. We're like the ordinary. The mundane life that we lead seems senseless to most people. But for us, that peace and tranquility, that time spent in the Word of God, that time spent outside with nature, with our chickens, ducks, and turkeys, with our gardens growing and the canning season upon us, all of those things are necessary and have meaning for our lives. We've made another trip around the sun, and y'all, we know that we are aging. Our bodies are changing, and we are slowing down. But as we work hard to get these little chores done, to make life easier for us in the long run, to put food on the table, and to have provisions set up for years to come. We are sustainable, and we are working towards full sustainability. The recent purchase of the Amish building that is being converted as I speak into an outdoor off-grid kitchen will serve us for many, many years. But going out to that building really does bring me peace of mind. It is a sanctuary for me. And y'all, being without electricity out there, no worries. We have solar power this day and age, and we're taking full advantage of that. We are going to be using a propane stove out there. It's a stove top, and we're going to use running water from our well, and we're going to drain the wastewater into the ditch, which will be gray water, so it won't go to waste. We can use it on our gardens, or we can let it go into the ditch. Either way, we are not being wasteful. So I had this one plant that didn't really do well, so I'm going to go ahead and stick that in the ground here. And as I'm pulling off some of these leaves, I'm going to go ahead and strip them a little bit and plant them alongside that, just in case that plant doesn't make it. But I do believe that plant's going to pop back anyway, and we should have tomatoes off of that as well. It's all about seed time and harvest when you're a gardener. This is Gardening 2026 on the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch, the Resourceful Homestead. Let me know in comments what type of tomatoes you are planning on planting this year. We like the Amish Paste tomatoes because they have a large fruit and they are so delicious and meaty. And they are great canning tomatoes. They are heirloom tomatoes. So we're keeping that alive by planting those and saving seed year to year. And if we save seed, guess what? These 50-cent plants this year will be free next year. Free tomatoes. Doesn't that sound wonderful? And each one of these plants will produce several pounds of tomatoes for us out of 50 cents. Think about it. We also planted some of our other herbs that we had started earlier this spring, and I'm going to just put them on the screen for you to see them. Oregano, and dill. Don't worry, those plants will pop back. They have been watered very well tonight. Thank you all for coming along with us as we plant our tomatoes. Be blessed and a blessing. Before you leave, we've moved the boxes of jars, the rocking chair, and our ice chest into the building. Here's some content I think you might like. Thank you for visiting our homestead. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hype, and share to help our small channel grow. See you next time for more simple living, frugal tips, and farmyard fun.